Give me back my water. Why did you take my water?
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Welcome back. Mr. Witness, as a matter of routine, I am obliged to remind you that you are still under oath for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters before I hand you over to Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair.
So welcome back.
Thank you.
I do hope that you had your lunch.
Yes, ma.
Thank you. Council, can we please proceed?
Yes. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Jonga, do you have the 2022 audit reports, the internal audit reports? You have the first and the second quarter.
Few seconds, let me check.
All right.
You said 2022?
Two. Yes.
First quarter.
Yes. You have the first and second quarter internal audit report. I think in 2021 there was no report.
Yeah, there was none except the license
Yes, yes.
revenue.
So let us see the 2022 first and second quarter. We can start with the first quarter.
You want us to start with the first quarter report?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Few seconds. Do you have a copy? The copy I have on my laptop is a draft one.
Yes, yes. What is the date? 29th of December 2022? Do you have that one? For the first quarter?
Let me cross-check, please. The date on the draft is on the 29th of December.
Of December 2022.
Yes, sir.
So on page 8, you will see the issue regarding withholding revenues. We're still on the issue regarding revenue collectors having issues of not declaring or submitting or banking monies that they collect.
Yes.
Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
But before that, the memo that you have submitted, it include. Can I please see the memos to all the department heads? Does it address the issue of taking the monies to the bank?
Yeah, exhibits.
Yes, the two memos did address that. The one in 2020.
Those documents, yes, the exhibits.
Address the issue.
Yes.
Yes, we have one dated the 14th of 13th of January 2020. And if I may read, it says, implementation of internal control and administrative measures with a view to strengthening internal control under the Finance Department. All unit heads and by extension staff of Council are duly notified of the following resolutions unanimously agreed at a senior management meeting held on the 8th of January 2020. That from henceforth there shall be a paying out cashier handling all payments. Now no salary payment shall be made by the receiving cashier. All payments exceeding 5,000 and above should be a check payment, and any payment below $5,000 can be paid in cash. Our Director of Finance is to submit monthly, quarterly, and yearly financial reports to the Chief Executive Officer. Regular reconciliation of books of in bracket manual and computerized account should be made by Finance Manager 1 and supervised by the Director of Finance. Now, all collections receiving revenue should pass through internal audit, that all payments should be vouched and supporting documents attached before approval is sought. Now, any approval for the fuel supply should be given approval by the CEO. The list of all vehicles and persons supplied should be made available to the office of the CEO. Now, due to the existing digital tax management system, license and value property revenue collectors should only collect revenue areas pending the start of the digital tax system. Now,
sorry, Council.
Yes.
Are you referring the witness to exhibit LGC/MG?
yes,
Bracket C.
CBKAC, yes, 002.
002.
Yes, with the date 13th of January 2020. Now, where have you stated that they should take the money to the bank?
All that is in the 2021.
2021 and not 2020.
All revenue collectors are strongly required to deposit their weekly collections.
So it would not be in 2020.
No,
You-
it will
you
not be
had
in
informed me
2020.
earlier.
Yeah,
Please proceed.
The decisions after when we went digital
Yes.
was in 2020.
Yes.
But this was communicated to all the heads, the line managers at a senior management meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
But for the record, do we have that specific instruction in 2020?
Yes, the minutes should be able to indicate that particular instruction.
But we don't have it in the memo.
Now, what we have in the memo is in 2021.
So it is not in the memo for 2020.
Yes, sir.
So is that probably one of the reasons why some of the collectors were taking the money to the area council?
No, that is not a strong ground. Like I said, the manual dictates that collections should be.
Yeah, but I don't
deposited.
expect the revenue collectors at some point to really know what is in the manual. Do they have orientation when they were employed?
Some, yes. While I was in office,
Have you been organizing orientations?
yes, it could be inadequate with respect to the instrument.
You have a smart way of answering questions. The simple way is to say, no, we have not been having orientations, but XYZ is the reason. Or yes, we have had orientation, and you give us the detail.
Yeah, we have had orientations.
Okay. Do you have details of those orientations, correspondences, to show us evidence that there were orientations regarding employment?
Yes, example, before we went digital, there were orientations that were held by the Directorate of Finance for the collectors at that particular point in time. I could remember that.
Do you have minutes of that meeting?
It should.
Or agenda?
Yes,
any
the minutes should be with the secretariat that we have submitted here.
Do you have the minutes that clearly outline instructions received from the Director of Finance, of course through your office, that they should take this money to the bank?
Yes, I should be able to refer to the minutes file that was previously submitted.
Okay, so we will wait for that.
Yes, sir.
Now, granted, the idea is the money should be paid into the bank, but in most instances, monies are not paid to the bank. So we've had, for instance, we've interviewed most of the revenue collectors. We have, for example, Noah Kujabi. You see several instances where monies were not deposited into the bank. accounts. There's also Modou. And in fact, some revenue collectors, they started putting money to the bank in 2021. We have Lyman Sedi. Is it Lyman Sedi? Lyman Sedi testified here. And he told us that he was instructed to pay revenues that he collected in the field to the bank in 2022. Would that be accurate?
No, that is not an accurate
that's wrong.
Statement.
That's a wrong statement.
Yeah, it is not accurate.
Yes, we believe so as well. But then, if you look at Mr. Sedi, for example, he doesn't even keep a cash book. He said he was given a cash book in 2021.
The cash books is a very important tool for the collectors.
Yes.
So,
Sorry, let me intervene.
Yes, please.
If you recall, he said that he bought himself a cash book, that he was not even given a cash book.
Yes, correct. So he said that he even had to buy a cash book in 2021, that when he was collecting revenue, he was not given any cash book. And he had collected revenue from 2018 because the mandate starts in 2018, but I think he was employed in 2016 or thereabout. Throughout that period, he had no cash book because he was not given any cash book. And in 2021, he bought a cash book for himself, and then that's where it started. Would that be a correct statement for him?
no, sir.
Why is that?
Because the collectors are provided with cash books. When you need a cash book, you request a cash book from your line manager.
Yes.
For the choir books.
Like if they are employed and they are deployed to or employed as a revenue collector, are they automatically given cash books?
Yes, because how will you collect without a cash book?
Yes.
Yes, because you need to keep records of your transactions.
True.
Of the revenue that you collected.
True.
Yes.
Now, do you have a list of list wherein it clearly spelled out the individuals that are employed as revenue collectors in a given year, or that work as a revenue collector in a given year, and the cash books they are given in any particular time? Do you have a register that will indicate that they will sign against their name to show that a cash book has been given to them?
That record could be available either with.
No, does it exist first?
I cannot confirm that.
Why?
At this point, but what I can see is that the line managers,
Yes.
of course, will keep records of
Should keep records.
should keep records of the performance of each of the collectors, including whoever is given a new cash book.
Yes.
Or maybe a new GTR after retiring the old one.
Yes.
Yes.
But 2018, all the way to 2023, you have been the CEO.
2019.
2019, sorry.
Yes.
Been the CEO. And if you have a revenue collector, even one revenue collector without a cash book, who does not declare his cash book, is there no way that you would know as CEO?
Well, during the period, I've never received any complaint for any revenue collector who do not have,
Why?
who needs a cash book and is not provided with one.
That means your finance department were not doing their job.
Well,
Do you agree with that?
No, I think I will just try to focus on the statement by, is it Mr. Sedi?
Said yes.
Yes, that he was not provided with a cash book.
No,
that did not hold water.
No, yes, but again, that issue cannot even come up. My point is you can't even have a revenue collector who cannot account for their cash book. So do you have a register in place? Like I'm asking for the system that you have in place. How do you monitor these revenue collectors to make sure that, because they're in charge of money, they're in charge of funds. Yeah. Revenue is very integral to the development of council.
Yeah. For the cash book, I cannot ascertain that. But for the GDRs that each of them are issued with, there's a CRBR that contains the details
Yes.
of the GDRs that you have received for the collection.
Now, who is in charge of this CRBR?
That should be the responsibility of the finance manager.
The finance manager.
Yes.
And do you have access to the CRBR?
Yes, I have access to the CRBR as a custodian of the records of
Yes,
council,
as a custodian. We want the CRBR. Do you keep a CRBR for every year, or is it that if it is exhausted, you have a new book as well?
Yeah, if it is exhausted, then we have we keep
Can
on.
we have the CRBR covering the period 2019, the period that you have served as CEO in Brikama Council from 2019 to 2023?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Now, it is clear, is it not, that you don't have a system to monitor the cash books? You don't have a register for cash books to know how the books of accounts you have given to the revenue collectors?
I would not want to draw that conclusion prior to confirming this with the line managers.
You want to confirm that?
Yes, because I could recall there are few managers who will, submit performance reports on monthly basis of these collectors.
Yes.
So obviously, that will motivate me to conclude that certainly they might keep records of the cash books of the collectors.
Now, certainly, these issues would have been clearly addressed if actions were taken, because they have been highlighted not only by the internal auditor but also by the external auditor as well.
Yes,
but it seems adequate action, using your words, were not taken in relation to addressing these issues with respect to cash suppression.
Yes, that's correct.
You agree with that?
Yes, that's correct.
So on page 8, where you have withholding revenue, it says that during the review of the weekly collections and submission of collectors, we found out that some collectors have collected some revenue and didn't submit or bank the revenues collected by them. So this is the problem we have now. So you have, for instance, Farmer Sanyan, that is between the 1st of January to the 31st of March, $8,500. You have Bakari Drame, $37,000. It's in 2022. Are you following with me?
Yes, I'm following you, yes.
You see Aliu Sonko, 8,170. Ibrahim Jaju, 13,600. Sekuba Sedikan, $16,000. Lamin Dabo, 5,150. Suleiman Tamba, $71,275. Now you have Buba Jabang, $244,700. You have Mama Kinte, $15,950. Binta Sonko, $4,775. Now, the implication, as outlined by the auditor, is that allowing huge revenue withholding or withheld by collectors will affect council's revenue, and it will be difficult on the council to meet its financial and service delivery obligations. So what have you done in this, with respect to these findings?
There were correspondence, there were letters that were written to the affected revenue collectors.
Okay.
And then these copies were also forwarded as evidence that action is taken to the internal auditor.
Where are those letters?
Yes, I will be able to provide you with these copies.
You will come back with the correspondence.
Yes.
Now, do you know whether these monies have been really accounted for? Whether they have been recovered?
I'll confirm this from the records.
So it is important, Mr. Jonga, because some of the revenue collectors have clearly outlined that there are moments that they bring the monies that they collect from the field to the senior management, be it the finance director or the CEO. Have you, at any point in time, asked any revenue collector to hand over part or the whole amount of the revenue that they collect in a particular period?
Like I stated earlier on, I have never at any instance.
You have never done that?
Yes, I have not.
So you have never had the cause to collect revenue from any individual?
Because I don't see the idea of an emergency expenditure, something that is...
Were you aware that any of your senior staff officers were requesting monies from revenue collectors?
Well, there was an instance that I was informed, and then I clearly I spoke to the Director of Finance that
Yes.
This is a practice that is prohibited, so you don't just collect revenue or ask the collectors to submit revenue for payments in the office. Collections ought to be deposited into the accounts of council, and then thereafter any transaction that you want to conduct, then you can go ahead and follow the right procedures.
But then that's not the case. That instruction was not followed.
Yes.
What did you do about it?
And that's why you have that memo that came out saying no cash submission to any authority.
Yes, still, the issue still keeps on persisting. And there are evidences that are very clear based on these audit reports. Now, how did you solve the problem?
This audit report is in 2020.
Yes.
And the memo that I sent out, after the memo that I did not have any reports.
This is 2022.
Yes, in 2022.
We have already dealt with the 2021. There is no audit report for 2021, but there are investigations for 2021. And now you have 2022 audit. You've already sent the memo, and the issue keeps on repeating itself. What did you do?
Yeah, well, I cannot recall any other issue that happens after this memo. If there is any,
When did you send the memo?
This was in October 2021.
Yes, Bakari Famara Sanyang. The issue is dated the 1st of January 2022, the 31st of March 2022, and the same goes to every other individual.
No, this is how withholding. Withholding is not implying that maybe these collections are requested at the office for payment.
And I'm telling you, they testified, and some of them had clearly outlined that they have issues regarding their seniors asking them to bring money.
Who? And did they give you that evidence? Because clearly I know, it is with example with maybe the payments with Yankuba Kuyabi on the funeral expenses, the one that he referred to as an emergency expenditure. But after that, I did not receive any report from any of these collectors indicating that they have been asked.
We will give you a list of all the collectors that mentioned that they give monies to the senior management.
Who in the senior management?
Who do you think is in the senior management?
I mean,
you were the CEO. Who?
Yeah, yes, I'm in the senior management with the heads of departments.
No, as at the time you serve as CEO,
Yes.
who do you refer to as the senior management?
Head of departments.
And who are the head of departments?
Myself,
Yes.
the Director of Finance,
Right.
the Director of Planning and Development,
Yes.
the Director of Administration,
Yes.
and other unit heads.
Okay, good. So we will now make you a list of the individuals that mention any of or either of those individuals, and you can now react to that.
Yes, that will be helpful.
Yes. So we don't know whether these monies were recovered, do we?
The withholding,
Yes.
I will like to confirm this.
Sir, Mr. Jonga, you would have known if you have done your job, you would have known whether these monies were recovered. You should have been in a position to know.
I am saying, I'm human, Counsel.
You are a human being.
Yes, exactly. And,
No.
and then, a lot of issues
Yes.
did occur over a period. So
So you cannot recall.
at this point
and
in
you need
time,
time.
yeah, but I will need to confirm so that I can give the right answer.
That's fine. You are here with us, so you can note that down.
Yes, let me ask
Yes,
for
yes, please.
clarification. Mr. Jonga, you have told the Commission that in 2020 you wrote a memo directing that the collectors to pay their collections to the bank. And based on the records we have seen, like the cash book transactions, for example, Council has given you an example for Famara Sanya. From 1st of January 2022 to 31st of March 2022, total collection. Now, my question is, you have issued the memo, and collectors will wait after a week or a fortnight to come to to go to either the bank or come to the council for submission. Why is it that?
Well, first I would like to clarify the issue of the memo. I did mention that the memo for 2020 did not indicate that the collectors must go to the bank to submit, but the manual indicates that, and then this was also part of the SMT meeting, and I did pledge to produce a copy of that management meeting where the collectors were reminded to submit their collection directly to the bank.
That is in 2020?
Yes. Now with regards to the non-compliance, clearly it is in the memo that collectors need to come for submission on Thursdays. At times it happens that you will have a collector who is unable to come and make submissions on Thursday due to family issues or other reasons, but these reasons are not communicated to my office, and then at times we'll be obliged to use the municipal police to ensure compliance with the submission deadlines.
No, Mr. Jonga, my question is, what the financial manual said is very clear, that every revenue collected, even if it is $10, it has to be submitted to the bank. Because if you submit, you can decide to say every Thursday you bring your deposit slips and do reconciliation, which would be easier for the purposes of transparency. Because if they go to the field, like they know before 4 o'clock they need to go and submit, they will, I believe they will want to comply with the instructions that you have given. Because I see no reason why you go to the field, you collect the money, you come and keep it, and start, accumulating the money to wait for Thursday for you to go and submit or to go and pay at the bank. Would that not create an opportunity to allow them the possibility of using those funds? Don't you think so?
Yes, if you fail to come
No. Don't you think that that is a high possibility, that with allowing them to have funds over a long period of time, that is from Thursday to Thursday, would it not create the opportunity for them, considering how much they are paid salary?
Yes, I said yes. It is. But again, we also have to look at the jurisdiction that each of these collectors will cover for collections.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a collector who covers, let's say, around Sukuta,
Yeah.
but the collector resides in Brikama,
Yeah.
and then you said, okay, the submission should be daily.
Yeah.
Now, you will have the tendency where the collector might be able to collect only few businesses in a day, because the collector will have to go to the bank and deposit and bring the slips to the office.
But Mr. Jonga, that is why I believe you have purchased forms of transportation, e.g. motorbikes, to facilitate their movement. Is that not the case?
Yeah, but the motorbike...
Wait. Is it not also is it not supposed to be your responsibility to find out what efficient ways would you be able to, what methods can you use to make sure that as minimal as possible, collectors don't have to have the money with them for a long period of time? Is that not your responsibility?
Yes, it is. And then steps were taken, even though the steps, we were unable to implement those decisions. The idea is there, but sometimes you have these challenges. There's a challenge of mobility. We have not provided all the collectors with motorbikes. That is one of it. And secondly, we had an option of how do we have a teller from a bank to be in council and collects these collections from the collectors on daily basis. That was also not enforceable, because the officer responsible or the parties responsible could not get that done. But we have looked at other options where, we will limit the physical contact of cars with the collectors.
Now, for example, we have had, Ibrahim Ajata, a revenue collector.
Ibrahim Ajata, yes.
Yes. He has testified here before the commission.
Yes.
When he is asked about monies, looking at his cash book and the transactions therein and the receipts, we have seen that sometimes when we have randomly asked questions to try and do some on-the-spot reconciliation, we have found, and he had told this commission, that part of the monies he used in the repairs of his motorbike? Did you give instructions for them to be using revenues to take care of certain activities?
No, I have never in any way given instructions, and like I.
But were you aware of that circumstance?
No, I am not, and I've clearly.
Now, would that not suggest that you had some issues with your oversight responsibility? Because if collectors have to use revenues, because numerous collectors have come to say they have used revenues collected for personal reasons, because they have challenges and they use the money in anticipation that when they get money they will refund it.
Yes.
And this, was it not brought to your attention, or you were not aware?
No, it was not brought to my attention, and then most importantly,
it
was not brought to my attention, and most importantly, these collectors will not communicate to my office prior to spending whatever they intend to spend from their collections. And everyone knew very well that I have zero tolerance for collectors.
But consistently, both internal audit and external audit have raised fundamentally issues of suppressing revenue and the improper way in which books of accounts are kept.
Yes, I agree. Those issues are raised by both the internal auditors and the external auditors. But again, those spending money from the collections are doing it on their own accord. There have never been any express authority.
Do you agree that the measures you were taking were not sufficient measures to deal with these issues over the period of time?
Yeah, they were not sufficient.
You were overseeing the council.
They were not sufficient, yes.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, page 11 of the first quarter still. But before that, that is the issue of there were payments made. It says 2 payment of the same maintenance service for Brikama Area Council 5, amounting to $147,901.52 bututs. Do you follow?
Yes, I would just like to state.
But before that, we were discussing the issue of the cash shortages from the revenue collectors.
Yes.
For instance, if you see Lamin Sane, you know Lamin S. Sane?
Lamin S.
You may not know him, but he's a revenue collector.
Lamin, yes.
Yes. He started paying into the bank in 2022. Do you follow? In 2022. And there were several collections, yes, in 2022.
Is Lamin's name in the report that I have here, or you're reading from?
No, in fact, these are findings that we've had through having access to his cash book and tried to do some reconciliation with the bank accounts. And he was interviewed and confronted with these findings. Yes. So you realize that, and you can check these findings as well independently because you have access to the bank account. So he started paying to the bank in 2022. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And even in 2022, there are so many transactions that could not be seen in any of the bank accounts. For instance, 21st of January 2022, he was issued a receipt by Mr. Kante. And then the amount of $12,900 was nowhere to be seen in any of the bank accounts. The same 31st of January 2022, $12,850, nowhere to be seen in any of the bank accounts. 10th of February 2022, $7,205, not seen in the bank account. 17th February 2022, $6,875, not seen in the bank account. That's just a fraction of what I'm trying to show you. They have testified, all of them they have testified here, and they have been confronted with all of these findings. But how could you not have found out that this was going on?
I stated earlier on, so are these collections receipted by the principal cashier?
Yes, there's a GTR.
Did they pass through internal audit? Is there any indication that
some will pass through internal audit?
Yes.
And they will be cleared.
Yes.
Some will not pass through internal audit.
Yes.
And they will just go straight to Mr. Kante,
yes,
and they will be issued with a receipt.
Yes.
Mr. Kante testified, I'm just giving you the background. Mr. Kante testified, and he admitted that yes, sometimes he does not even check their deposit slips.
Yes. So there's a mixture of both. There's a mixture in, the main reason is weak internal controls, but there's a mixture, one on the part of the internal auditor and one on the part of the principal.
And then, who
principal
else?
cashier.
Who else? Who else?
Of
Who
course,
else?
as CEO, I have
What should you have done?
I have overall no, but these issues are only been brought to my attention during the course of the audit exercise.
Yes.
Yes, not has the.
No, you have had issues regarding withholding of cash from these audit exercise, separate from our findings. It's not a new information.
I know.
My question is, you were absolutely right when you said the internal auditor and the cashier. Absolutely right. Where they fall short, they've already been informed about that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to understand whether you were in a position to know about all of this as CEO.
No, I wouldn't know if a collector goes to internal auditor and got sign off and goes to the principal cashier.
At any point in time?
No.
Even from 2019 all the way to 2022, you would not know?
I would not know.
What happened with bank reconciliation?
That the Director of Finance is expected to carry out?
Yes.
Yes, we have records of bank reconciliations.
Would bank reconciliation have brought all of these issues out?
Yes.
Were you doing bank reconciliation?
Well, that is the responsibility of the Director of Finance
Mr. Jonga, that is the responsibility of the Director of Finance. That is not where it stopped.
Yes, but you would need to allow me to follow.
Please proceed.
Yes.
Let
So
me hear you.
and then these statements, of course, are provided to the auditors.
Yes?
Yes, the bank reconciliation statement that were prepared.
So, Mr. Jonga, are you blaming the Director of Finance for not providing or making sure that there is a bank reconciliation every month to be able to bring all these issues out?
Not blaming anyone.
We have to blame someone here.
No, yeah.
Someone must be blamed. It's a serious problem.
Yeah, I am not blaming him. What
Who
I'm saying
do
is,
you blame?
What I'm saying is, you know, this is a system.
Yes.
One is responsible for one part of the system.
Who?
Example, you have.
No examples. Let's be factual there. This is a very practical aspect of the finance we're dealing with.
I'm giving you the specific examples.
Yes.
Yes. One, you have the internal auditor.
Yes.
You have the responsibilities of the line managers.
Yes.
You have the responsibility of the finance manager.
Absolutely.
You have the responsibility of the Director of Finance. And then you have the overall responsibility of the CEO.
Absolutely.
So if one performs,
Yes.
or two or three performs their
Yes.
functions
Yes.
up to expectation,
Right.
and then if one fails to perform your function to a certain degree, then there are lapses.
I agree. Now,
Yes.
where are the lapses here?
The internal controls, because if we said a revenue collector must deposit your collections
Yes.
to the bank directly,
Yes.
and bring the slips
Yes.
to the internal audit,
Yes.
after which you go to the principal cashier.
Yes.
So you cannot have a collector being signed off, and you cannot have a collector being receipted by the principal cashier.
Yes.
Without any proofs of deposit slips.
I 100% agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So these things will happen without the CEO knowing
I
at
agree.
that material time.
I agree.
Yes.
You don't have to know at that material time.
Yes.
But you are in a position to know at a subsequent time.
Yes, and if
That is where you come in.
yeah, and if I know, I take actions.
Now, let's talk about this. Let's be very specific.
Yes.
Now, I am telling you that it would not have been rampant up to the level of you being so shocked about the corrupt practices that were happening in the area council sometime after you have left from 2019 to 2023, if you were performing your duties in this aspect. I'm not talking about other aspects yet. As a CEO, when it comes to finance, if you were really duly executing your functions, there was no way you would not have known. You cannot control when someone wants to be corrupt, but you can definitely put in measures to detect if it is happening.
Yes.
Do you agree with that statement?
Not in totality.
What do you not agree with?
That, you know, the level of this operations
Yes.
could have been minimized if I took.
There was no way of minimizing it?
Of course, there are ways. But like I indicated earlier on, you've officers.
Let's look at your role. Let's go straight to the Director of Finance's role. The financial manual, turn to page 9, section 203.
The role of the CEO or the Director of Finance?
In fact, you see, everybody's role is your role. That's why it is interesting. That's how the law couches it. If you read it, you realize that everybody's role is your role. So that when they appointed you, you had a huge responsibility. Do you understand that? That's why what they pay you is different from what they pay the Director of Finance. Is that not the case? Is that not the case, sir?
Yes.
Yes, correct. So page 9, 203, financial manual, you will see what I am talking about. Are we together?
A few seconds, please. Page what?
Page 9, 203, the financial manual.
Yes.
It says, in the exercise of his functions, the chief executive officer, that is chief executive, that's you at the time,
Yes.
may delegate some of his roles and responsibilities as appropriate to his deputy.
Yes.
Now, where applicable, and or the Director of Finance, this arrangement, however, will not relieve the chief executive from any portion of his responsibility as the accounting officer of council. You see how it was couched?
Yes, I
Very clear.
Yes.
So that when you sit here, you will not tell the commissioners that it is the role of the Director of Finance. It says whatever their role is your primary role. Whatever you assign them is your role. That would not be an excuse. Do you understand it that the way I understand it?
Yeah, absolutely. Even before you raise this, I understand it at that end. But I'm not trying to kind of.
I understand your explanation. Let's turn to the next page. You will see why it is very important. Go to the Director of Finance's role, 204. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Says the Director of Finance is head of Finance Department of the Council and shall be responsible for the following. There's overall coordination and control of the accounting functions of Council. Supervision of accounting staff. Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Production of the annual financial statement. You will get to all of those. Interpretation, analysis of accounts. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you turn, he will tell you he will be specifically answerable to the CEO for the following duties.
Yes.
So it says A, general supervision of the accounting functions. B, the proper collections, recordings, and custody of all revenues of council. C, examination of payment vouchers to ensure that they have been properly authorized, that the allocations, rates, calculations, castings, and signatures of recipients are accurate. That was why I was asking in the beginning that everything starts and ends with you when it comes to the supervision role. That is, even if you sign before anybody, you must ensure that the recipients are signed. You see that? You see this?
Yes.
Good. Recipients are accurate and are in order, and that the vouchers are properly filed. So when you stamp it paid, it comes back to you. You are the custodian of these documents. You know clearly that this voucher was duly raised. I signed off this voucher, and the money has gone to the place it was supposed to go to. So that today, when you come, or any day like this, you will not tell any authority like the commissioners that I did not know that they did not sign. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
It went further that the bank had been detected.
I will get the,
No.
the copies.
Now you have told us they are. I trust you. I believe you. But now I am asking you questions based on the fact that there are existing bank reconciliations, since you have said it. Now, if there were bank reconciliations, it would have promptly brought all these issues out.
Not
Do you
only,
agree with that?
Yes, I agree. Not only the bank reconciliation will help break this thing out. Other issues, of course, will help to.
But let's focus on the bank reconciliation for now.
Yes, it will.
If there were bank reconciliations, you would have clearly been adequately informed of all these financial malpractices.
It will to a large extent, yes.
Yes, to a large extent. 100% tell you.
Yes.
Even if one information is sufficient to know what is happening in your backyard.
Yeah.
So that you would not have been shocked to hear that in the commission. So to be fair with you, if you say you were shocked to hear it in the commission, I believe you. Then now I would not believe you, because you have had the prior information from these bank reconciliations.
Yes, like I stated, to a large extent, it will help give you a clearer picture.
No,
But
answer the question directly, what I have said. I am now putting you to the test. I'm now telling you that going by your own statement there, that there are bank reconciliations, which means you have had prior knowledge.
No, I did not have prior knowledge.
How comes?
How will I know that a collector has gone straight, collected revenue, go straight to the principal cashier and got receipted with a GTR?
What is a bank reconciliation?
It helps to reconcile what is in your bank balance
With
versus what you've collected.
your cash books and the other books of accounts.
Yes.
So what the cashier will collect from the revenue collector, if Mr. Kante gave a receipt to any individual to say that you have paid $50,000 in the account when the money is not there, would a bank reconciliation not detect that?
It will.
That's my point. Then you would have had the information. Then you would not have been shocked today. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
No, Mr.
Yeah,
Jonga.
yes,
Wait a minute. Let's exhaust the topic first.
I agree.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So it was a failure on your side as CEO.
Yes, I have overall responsibility over that.
No. Forget the overall responsibility.
I will have to cancel.
You have to?
I will have to state that it is my overall responsibility.
No. Your overall responsibility was your primary responsibility.
I agree.
Yes, it was your primary expressed responsibility.
But there are others who have delegated responsibility to ensure
They
that
are not
this is
also exempted.
Yes, clearly, I understand that.
They are not exempted. No one is exempted.
No, absolutely.
The Director of Finance is not exempted because you are the CEO. No, it will be fair on you.
Yes, so that's the point that I want to
I am hopeful that the commissioners will understand that. I am very hopeful because I agree with you that where the Director of Finance is responsible does not mean they are absolved because the CEO bears the sole burden of taking responsibility. So probably we have an agreement on that.
Yes.
But again, you know, you are also not absolved.
Exactly. I'm not saying I am.
Yes. Yeah. And if there are gaps, lapses, the failure primarily is you, the CEO.
Yes, it's on my
And you
head.
have failed in this aspect.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this.
Let me just add.
Please.
On to it. Yes. In addition to that, Mr. Jonga, do you think if the Director of Finance was submitting to you a summary of the receipts and payments and copies sent to the auditor, would that have averted so much of this malpractice that was going on at the level of the finance department?
If he was sending?
If he was giving you a summary, a monthly summary
Bank
of the receipts, of all the receipts in the both
of
revenue
income,
and and also payments that they have made out.
Yes.
Because that is what the financial manual has said.
Yes.
That he should provide to you a summary monthly of the receipts that have been issued. And this, particularly for council, is a summary of the receipts in terms of the GTRs. Because if you recall, and if you were watching, Kantong sat here and I asked him the question, why were you issuing receipts that you are not supposed to issue to the collectors, evidencing that you have received money? He said at that time, his response was that the receipts they ran out of receipts. So now I am saying, if the finance director was submitting to you summaries of receipts and payments that they have done monthly and copies sent to the auditor, would it not have been possible that all this huge financial malpractice would have been averted?
Yes, it would have been averted.
Thank you. Council.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Jonga, you've asked about the individuals that have mentioned the senior management. I will just give you one or two, and then as way of sample, and the rest, we will make you a list. Is that fair enough, sir?
Yes, sir.
We have Yankuba Kujabi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, market manager. He has said in his statement and his evidence as well. So he said on the issue of 2020 internal audit query of unaccounted market collections amounted to $63,000. You know, this was the one we talked about. Is $62,000?
Yes, earlier, yes.
and $70,000. This was a period when I used to receive and keep collections daily collections, and sometimes receive instructions from Director of Finance, Alaji Jeng, to give him money from the said collections to fund certain emergency events for the council, such as funeral, naming ceremony, wedding, marriage ceremonies involving council staff. Regarding the monies I gave to Director Jeng, I cannot recall the whole sum because I have not been taking record of the money. I thought that the Director of Finance has settled this issue with the audit because he knows something about the money in the fact that he was the very person that instructed the delivery of the said money. Therefore, he should have allowed the issue to grow. He should not have allowed the issue to grow and become an audit query. Do you see that?
Yes, I heard that. I did not in any way authorize the Director of Finance to request for money from
And to be fair, there is nowhere that it is mentioned that you have authorized Director of Finance here. The Director of Finance had mentioned you, but we will come to that issue. We also have other witnesses as well. You have, this is Alaji Jeng statement. He said on the issue, that is the page number 8 of his statement dated the 28th of March 2024, Alaji Jeng, that's your Director of Finance, correct?
Yes, sir.
Said, on the issue of receipt of $15,000 from Mama Kinte, because she also mentioned Alaji Jeng, a revenue collector, it is true that I received the said money from Mrs. Kinte and spent the revenue for the payment of council sittings. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So this is just an example of where senior officials were mentioned. Do you follow?
Yes, I follow.
Yeah, so that what we have told you is a factual statement, and some of these were captured by audit reports, but we will discuss some of these issues in detail as well.
Okay.
But you had said you have never authorized.
I have not. I did not authorize any of these payments.
So when council have sittings, how are these refreshments provided?
Usually, a request is raised days before the sitting.
Days before the sitting?
Days before the sitting.
So it would not be an urgent matter that now we have sittings, please bring your money from what you have, because we have sittings.
Until and unless there is poor planning, and that's what it indicates. But because the council sittings, the notice are usually out 3 days before the date for the meeting.
Yes, but
So
go ahead, sir.
So the clerk will put up a request for the logistics for the meeting.
So what Director of Finance is saying would not have been.
Yes, and that notice will send a signal to finance that on this day there should be a payment for the general council sitting.
Yes.
Yes. So
yes,
you cannot use that as a pretext to request for collections, cash collections, to make payments.
And most of the revenue collectors, again, when we give you the list for you to find out, and we deal with it one after the other, you will realize that most of them will say that they will come to the Director of Finance, give him money, and he will instruct Mr. Kante to issue our receipts.
I had those revelations here as well.
Yes.
But I never had any prior.
So these were issues, because the money will certainly not be in the bank. So these were issues that would have clearly been spelled out by the bank reconciliation that you would have done, which you have said you have done, which means you would have figured out these informations as well.
That's correct.
And then failure to act. It's not an excuse. So all of these individuals, you have Mama Jada. She only takes the money to the Vista Bank account and started paying in 2021. 2021, we will make you a list. Okay. And which means for 2020, the whole year, there are no monies that were deposited, and you have already given instructions that monies must be paid to the bank, and there are no exceptions, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but we have a whole year wherein monies were not paid to the bank. So where was this money going to?
I will need to have the records.
You have Malik Jeng, so many amounts of monies that could not be accounted for. For instance, 2018, no, you were not there in 2018, but you were there in 2019, you were there in 2020. So let me just start with 2020 to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
You'll have 9th October 2020, an amount of $14,000 is not seen in the account, and the list goes on. You have 10th of December 2020, 5,500. 10th of December 2020, $4,000 is. 24th of February 2021, 7,000. So many non-traceable transactions. You have Lamin A. Bojang only started paying money to the bank in 2021. So you have a whole year 2020 when no money could be found in the account. So who was receiving the money?
That's a big question, but most of these collectors are experienced collectors, so the excuse of not submitting this money to the banks.
The same way we have an experienced CEO who should have traced all of this at the earliest opportunity. But is that not fair as well?
Yeah, it's fair, but sometimes you don't have that opportunity to be able to.
No, you have the opportunity. Yeah. Mr. Jonga, we all feel in our responsibility once in a while. The idea that you own up to it is very paramount.
No, I have owned up to to areas where there are lapses.
Yes.
Certainly, and that's obvious.
Yes.
So I do not run away from my responsibility.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but again, you have situations where it is complex to manage.
And the complexity of management is what your employer will not want to understand. Do you see that? If not, if that is the case, we employ anybody that can read and write. I don't think I can do your job.
No.
I don't think I can do it. So that's why it's not for everyone.
That's correct.
Yes. So that the people that are qualified to do it cannot be giving us excuses because they are highly qualified to do it.
No, we're giving you scenarios. We're giving you context.
Yes, but context scenarios that are avoidable. They were avoidable, that is why you were there. The law has, where you have done your duty as in accordance with the law, then you have a situation. Accountability does not mean there would not be issues. Accountability means you can be able to explain clearly when the situation arises because of the checks and balances that are in place. Do we understand it that way?
Yes, yes.
So where you fail to do your job, that's different from not having, not being able to control. It means you just have not done what you were supposed to do. For instance, if you don't have a revenue account.
No, sometimes you could do what you were supposed to do, but it is not adequate to address.
But in this case, you have not. In this case, you have not. That is the fact.
I will take your position.
You will take?
I will accept your position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Nuha Kujabi started paying into the bank in 2021. What happened in 2020? Where is the revenue that he collected in 2020 throughout? We don't know. And even 2021, most of the revenue, you could not trace it in the accounts. You have 22nd of January 2021, 12,180 could not be seen in the bank. You have 25th March 2021, $2,375 could not be seen in the bank. You have again several instances where the monies were not seen into the bank accounts. You have, so my other question, you have Malik Jeng, you have Lamine Bojang, start paying in 2021. 1 year after the introduction, in fact, of the digital system. Correct?
Yes, with the records that you have, yes.
Yes. I mean, they can be verified as well.
Yes.
They should be verified. We will avail you with these records. You can make verification since you are supposed to answer these questions. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You have Suleiman Tamba, start paying to the bank in 2021, the Vista Bank. For the entire period of 2020, no one can tell you where these monies are. And that's just one of the problems that we can find that has nothing to do with revenue collectors having bank paying in slips, but no records of what they have, of the details of collections in their cash book. Nothing. So the only thing that you can go by is the bank paying slip. Do you see that?
Yes.
So my problem is it has been going on for years, and issues of revenue had been detected for years, and there are no strict measures to curb this. And you were the CEO at the time.
Of course, there were some decisions that were taken. There were few staffs who were dismissed as a result of this suppression.
Yes.
And then there are other measures that were taken. But sometimes the decisions that you take are not adequate because, you know, like I said, it's true the CEO has, you know, an overall responsibility. But again, you have subordinates who have failed to take up their responsibilities in one way or the
So
other.
where you have the senior management or some members of the senior management also flouting the rules, do you not think it will be reasonably expected that the lower staff would also flout the rules?
Yes, that is obvious.
And that was happening in the Brikama Area Council.
That is obvious.
Yeah, because Mr. Jeng himself admitted here that he had been taking monies from revenue collectors. And that is at the level of the Director of Finance.
Yes, it's obvious. That will send a wrong signal.
You have the cashier admitting that he was issuing a receipt without even seeing money or bank slips. But all those things could not have been a problem if the checks in place in these books of accounts were followed. Simple bank reconciliation would have had solved this problem. Effective auditing would have solved these problems. Correct?
I agree, yes, correct.
Now, the issue of the two payments of the same, or are there any questions regarding the revenue collectors? Ma'am?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Jeng, oh, sorry, I said Mr. Jeng. Mr. Jonga,
Yes, ma'am.
please note these names and tell me whether these collectors were employed during your time.
Yes.
Binta Sonko, Kadi B. Ture, Mama Kinte,
Sorry. Binta Sonko?
Kadi B. Ture, Mama Kinte.
Mama Kinte?
Yes. Janaba Cham, Lamin S. Sane,
Lamin S. Sane, yes.
Yaya Drame,
Yaya Drame?
Mama Jata.
Mama Jata.
Yes.
All these collectors except Mama. I found all these collectors in council. In fact, you know, they were employed before I start working in council. But Mama was transferred from Janjambure to Brikama Area Council through the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government. But the rest, these are staff that I inherited in council.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. My question here is that collectors that can neither read nor write, when you came in, were you aware that all of these collectors cannot read or write?
I do not have that interaction to be able to detect that they cannot read and write. I honestly don't.
Now, you said you have a nominal role.
Yes.
You have a nominal role, right?
Yes.
And you have an establishment register, right?
Yes.
Do you do staff appraisal?
The only staff appraisal that was carried out was while I was serving as Director of Administration, and after that there have not been any staff appraisal.
So now, during the course of that staff appraisal, whilst you were Director of Administration, did you notice that this listed collectors had no capacity?
The staff appraisal was not a comprehensive staff appraisal. It was just specific to how would I call it, the senior management and the heads of
then it cannot be a staff appraisal, so you cannot qualify it as a staff.
Well, that's why I said it was not comprehensive.
So then there was no staff appraisal.
Yes.
Thank you. Proceed. So,
Mr. Jonga,
Yes, sir.
my worry is, why do you think you shouldn't be responding to management letters? Because for this whole quarter, no management response. Is that good for the institution?
I wanted to raise that after these questions. I am surprised to see that there is no management response in these copies that was submitted, but that is not correct. The copy that I have the management responses in the internal audit reports.
That's really strange, but we'll continue with council. We'll get back to that later on.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so the 2020 we have gone through, of course there are some that you have responded, and there are some that were not responded. And for the 2022 as well, if you have a copy that is responded to, and you can also avail us with that copy. It will only help or aid the commissioners to also understand what your response was. We will cross-check that with the internal auditor as well. Is that not the case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you have a copy, that's fine. We can cross-check that. But 2020, there are so many that you have not responded to, and there are some that you have responded to as well.
The copies that I have bears the responses of the management.
Yes.
Yes.
So for the findings on page 11, you will see that there were 2 payments of the same maintenance service for Brikama Area Council 5, yes, amounting to $147,901.52 butots.
Which page are you having there?
Page 11.
Page 11. Okay, just allow me to go through my own. Let me use my copy, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Says, during the review of the payment vouchers, we came across the payment of the same service to Brikama Area Council 5 within a space of 2 days, interval with 2 different invoices from one supplier, QuantumNet. First payment amounted to $82,167.52 brutes. The date is 28th of March 2022, approved by the CEO, while the second payment was done on the 30th of March 2022, amounting to $65,734. The second payment has an attached photocopy of the first invoice without bearing the CEO's signature. The 2 payments were not having any receipt. Yes? What do you say?
Yes, it's not a case of 2 payments for the same maintenance service.
Yes.
The vehicle was sent for maintenance.
Yes.
And during the course of the maintenance, a problem was detected.
Yes.
Another problem was detected,
yes,
on the vehicle.
Yes.
And then another invoice was also provided with respect to the payment for that particular service. So it's not an instance of 2 payments for the same service.
No, but it's said clearly that it is one invoice.
It is not.
Did you reply to that?
Actually, when we discussed, procurement was supposed to provide the invoices.
Did you reply?
Yeah, we have replied.
What is the reply?
The response is that procurement will provide the adequate documents to ascertain the audit query.
So was that done?
During the retreat, if I could remember, that was not done. But I personally took it upon myself and requested for the invoice from CompuNet, and I was provided with the invoice.
No, but that was not done. We do not have the evidence of what you are saying.
Yes,
yes,
it was not done. Yes.
Exactly. That is the issue. So now, if that is not done, how are we just supposed to go by your oral or your verbal answer?
Because
do you want us to go by your verbal answer?
In addition to the fact that I was able to get a copy of the invoice from
Where is the copy of the invoices?
It's in my laptop. I should be able to provide
your laptop?
Yes.
How will the invoice be in your laptop?
Well, it was sent to me via email.
Go ahead.
Yes, so I should be able to make the copy.
No, but if it was in your laptop, the invoice would be in the file. That's my point.
No, this is the file copy from Compton.
So Quantum sent you a copy?
Yeah, because when the auditors raised this issue, we tried to find out what exactly happened.
My question is, where did you get your invoice that you have in your laptop?
Where?
Who gave you the invoice that you have in your laptop?
I requested for a copy of the invoice from Compton, from CompuNet.
Now you have an institution that the invoice emanates from.
Yes.
So we want the invoice that your institution generated. I'm not going to ask.
No, the invoice.
Ask QuantumNet where is the invoice?
The invoice is generated by QuantumNet.
Okay, the invoice, but the voucher. How about the voucher, the payment of vouchers?
No, the vouchers should be, of course, in the office, not with Quampton.
Okay, so make us available those invoices.
Okay, thank you.
Is it together with the vouchers also? Council?
Let's come again.
The voucher?
Yes, together with the voucher, yes.
Okay.
I'm more concerned with the voucher because the voucher should have all the supporting documents.
Okay, sir. I will look for the vouchers.
Yes, I'm more concerned with the voucher and not the documents from, how to call again, Quantum, because the vouchers that you generate in your department and in your institution should have the necessary supporting documents. Is that not the case?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Because you could see under the description.
Yes.
There are two descriptions here. One is vehicle maintenance, and then the other one is for the payment of the clutch kit system.
Okay.
So
please.
the maintenance was done.
Yes.
And then you have a problem that was detected that has to do with the clutch kit system of the vehicle.
Yes. So please provide us with the necessary vouchers. Of course, accompanying the vouchers would be the supporting documents so that we can verify what you are saying. Would that be fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Now, on page 12 are issues of procurement. We will skip those issues for now. We will deal with procurement probably separately. From page 12. Now, Madam Chair, we want to move to the issues. The issue of impress as well, we will deal with it separately. We have the second draft, second quarter internal audit report. Do you have questions regarding the first quarter, or before I move on?
No.
Yes.
Yes, Council, can we proceed?
Next to, do you have the second quarter?
Yes, sir. I have the second quarter, yes.
All right. On page 9, you have the issue of vouchers that required 3 quotations. But again, I've said the issue of procurement, we will deal with it separately. So I will probably want to refer you to page 11, where we have an issue that we have dealt with before, a similar issue, sorry, the issue of cash withholding as well by revenue collectors. This is an amount of $858,087.
Sorry, which page is that again, please?
11,
Okay.
just to make sure I've not really checked. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Yes. Any information you have for us regarding that?
Yes.
It says during our audit review on weekly submissions by each collector in the second quarter of 2022, the said amount has been withheld by the following collectors below. The amount is the total amount is $858,087 with respect to all the collectors that are listed.
Yes. There were correspondence to these collectors.
There were?
There were letters that were sent to each of these collectors.
Yes, yes.
For the revenue that they withheld during the period.
Yes.
On the review. You can provide copies of that to the commission.
After the letters, what happened? After sending the letters, what did you do?
I know some of them were being deducted directly from their salaries, but others have paid. So I'll have to confirm with the Director of Finance to have that record.
Mr. Jonga, this is an amount that has to be recovered.
Yes, sir.
If it is not recovered, it has to be marked as a bad debt. Is it bad debt? Do you understand that?
Yes.
But there's even a procedure for that. What we want to know is what steps have you taken in recovering this money?
Yes. First, when we receive the report, we have to confront formally.
You did that. You wrote letters. You have seen the letters.
Yes. So
it's not sufficient. It's not adequate. What else have you done in addition to the letter? Because you must, it's a recovery. You must have a recovery plan. The plan is you write letters to them, you request for monies to be paid. They are paid salaries, and you know how to recover the money. And at the end of a period, you must account for what the steps you have taken in recovering the money, and whether you have recovered the money successfully or not. For those you can't recover the monies from, why you can't recover, there has to be a comprehensive report.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Yes.
What is the report?
What I could say at this point is they were written to with regards to the revenues that they have withheld.
Yes.
And those that cannot contest the findings were asked to pay.
Yes.
I will confirm with the Director of Finance because there were a moment where some of these collectors were deducted from their salaries.
Was this amount recovered?
I will need to confirm this.
It's 2024, Mr. Jonga.
Yes, I will need to confirm this.
I'm just saying it's 2024.
Yes, but I will need to confirm this.
So you do not recall whether you have recovered this amount?
I know recovery did take place, but
if
I have to be...
If we give you time, would you be able to give us a comprehensive report on the state of these findings?
Yes, I will make consultations and give you a
how you do it is really how you want to do it. All we want is the report. If we give you time, will you be able to give us exactly a proper accounting of the amount of $858,887? Will you be able to do that?
I will be able to give you a report as to how far we have gone to recover these monies and what is outstanding, if any.
How far you have gone is writing letters?
No, I'm not telling you that. We've gone beyond that.
Okay.
So I will be able to inform the Commission.
How much time do you need?
With regards to this, I think I will need 5 working days to work this out.
You can talk to the commissioners about that. If they grant you 5 working days, I am always here, Mr. Jonga.
Mr. Jonga, this is the second quarter report for 2022.
Yes.
And I believe steps should have been taken, right?
Yes,
ma'am. This is 2024. Steps should have been taken by now to have those documents readily available. Is that not correct?
11.
Steps were taken, but having access to the documents might prove a bit difficult because this is 2020 and we're in 2024, and that's why I asked for a time, not because steps have not been taken, but because the time it will take to dig into the reports and give the Commission accurate information.
Okay, we'll give you up to next week Wednesday.
Thank you.
Now, page 15, double fueling for the following vehicles. Double fueling supply was done to vehicle number BJL 2511T.
Sorry, what
page 15.
15.
There was an issue regarding one vehicle being fueled twice. double filling supply was done to the vehicle number BJL 2511T, 40 liters, amounting to $2,220 diesel, given to Alaji Jeng, EHS department. Also vehicle number BJL 2511T, 40 liters, $2,220.40 diesel by Alaji Jeng, finance department. Now double fuel supply WCR 04358 Mustafa Juf, finance department, 20 liters. The amount is $1,147.80 bottles. Number 3, the supply of diesel to vehicle number BJL 0255L Babakar Manga, finance department. Now, how did you address this issue, sir?
Well, first, I think I will have to confirm the dates of the fuel supplies, if actually they were on the same date.
Did you respond to this part of the management, part of the audit report through your management response?
With this one, there is no
No response.
no, there is no column for management response.
No, but that doesn't mean you cannot respond, Mr. Jonga. If there is no column, you still can respond because it is an adverse finding against your staff,
Yes, but
your
like
management.
yeah, but like I've also asked.
And you involved because you should clear all these payments, expected to clear up these payments.
Yeah, yes. I asked about the dates because if you look at the observations here, the observation did not provide any dates for this fuel supplies.
You should have written back to say the observation did not provide for any date. You've had access to this report.
Who?
You asked the CEO.
Can you please repeat what you just said?
You have had access to this report before?
Yes,
Have you had access to this report?
Yes, but I remembered I raised these issues, that very issues that I'm raising now.
Where is the correspondence that you have raised these issues?
When we were dealing with this report, we started as a management, and I raised these issues.
That's
So
sufficient.
some of these issues, we have provided adequate feedback.
The auditor-
and the expectation is that the auditor will
The
not
auditor
maintain,
reduced his
will not
findings
maintain his findings.
in writing.
No,
He reduced his findings in writing.
Yes.
You were supposed to reduce your response in writing. Did you do that?
We have not done that, but the minutes were taken when we were dealing with this audit report.
Have you reduced your response in writing?
The minutes will be able to confirm that.
No. I want you to confirm that. The ones you have responded to, you have clearly told us you have responded to. Have you responded to this in writing?
No, we have not.
Yes, Mr. Jonga, yes. And you are referring to you as the CEO.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, again, I think this is an issue where you need to at least listen to me with regards to this.
I have, to be fair, you know, I have always listened to you, Mr. Jonga.
Very well,
Yes.
but you know, I think with this you need to
Have the floor.
because you look at the
The
dates.
chairperson wants to say something first. I don't know. Then you can explain.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because there are supply days for fuel,
Yes.
and I did raise this when we were dealing with this. The supply days are Mondays and Thursday.
Yes.
So now it will be wrong to say, you know, double supplies of the same vehicle.
Yes.
With 40 liters on the same day.
Yes.
So at least the dates need to specify
Yes.
whether this supply days was
Yes.
either on Monday
Yes.
or on Thursday.
Yes.
And this observation has
Yes.
not indicated that.
Okay.
I know that there is a limitation on my part,
Yes.
not responding
Yes.
to formally to this observation.
Yes. Now, that's what my point is. My point is, for all the shortcomings you may have identified with respect to the internal auditor, you are entitled to those observations. Let me draw you back. For instance, number 3, it says the supply of diesel to vehicle number BJL 0255L Babukar Manga. You know him?
Yes.
Yes. Who is he?
Babukar is the former finance manager. 2.
2. The who at the time has no vehicle. That is one issue. And who was supplied 20 liters amounted to $1,110 $10 is 20 bullets on the 27th of January 2022.
But again, the proof.
I'm just, wait a minute. See, you are now, it's what you have asked for that I'm giving you. Now, when you go to the table, there should be a table just beneath the findings. Do you see that?
Yes.
It says the voucher number 220000307, description fuel supply payment, payee Eco Bank, amount $99,752.75, date 27th of January 2022, and you will see observation or remark BJL 52511TT 40 liters D2, and you see 220.40 diesel Alaji Jeng EHS, not in his department. And number 2 again, the second payment BJL 2511T Alaji Jeng. These were the payments that were highlighted on the date of 27th of January 2022. So I think there is sufficient information for you to even make findings and respond to the auditor. Do you not think so?
The information.
Do you not think so first?
Yeah, I think so.
Exactly.
Yes.
Madam Chair? Yeah.
We may rise.